Hello everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. It is Saturday of International Scrapbooking Day, and do I look worse for wear or what? It's been a long day. I did 3 pages, I'm on to my 4th now, but I did have a little nap, hence the hair is all scraggly and messy, but it doesn't matter. This next challenge is the one that Helen has done, and she has told us to pick 5 from a list of different things. So I've got my idea about what 5 I might use. Unfortunately I can't do the first one, which is 3 or more photos, because I've only got 2 photos that I actually want to share on this layout. And I just decided that this was the paper I wanted to use, and I knew which pictures I wanted to do, so you know, that's how these things work. So without further ado, I'm going to pop you in the clamp and let's record what happens. Voiceover Catherine will now take over. Hello everyone, Voiceover Catherine here. So, started with the stenciling, so at least I could tick one of these things off the list. You'll see on the left hand side I've kind of written everything down. So the first thing on the list was 3 plus photos. I don't do that. 3 plus 3 or more pattern papers. I do that. I've now forgotten what's on the list. Okay, I've found it. Some either wax seals or flare, don't do that. Twine, ribbon, or that kind of thing. I do add some twine. Stamping, stenciling, I add both of those eventually. Distressed edges, a banner or flag, and stars. I think that was what was on the list. Apologies, I really should put this up on the screen. That would make much more sense. Anyway, so I do manage to do actually 6 of the things, not 5 in total. So you can see here I've created a panel that I've matte onto a different pattern paper, so that very busy house paper I have added onto the pink to give it a little border. I've distressed all the edges of that, and then a different sort of orangey corally colour that kind of works with some of the houses colours. I have matted the photos onto those. I did trim one of the photos down to make it a much smaller photograph and matted it on white first, and then I did slightly reduce the size of the other picture because I just thought there was too much white boundary to it, so I did trim that down first. And now I've used my crocodile to punch some holes, and I'm threading this twine through just so that it's got 3 stripes across the bottom, and then again the same on the top. I did use my ruler just to try and keep it reasonably straight. I'm not bothered if it's not totally straight, but reasonably straight before I thread it through. I just add something slightly different, a little bit of texture, but without going over the top in terms of ribbons. And to be honest, you probably can't see this on most of the video, but you can see it in real life. So at this point, I'm thinking, right, what else am I going to do? Oh, well, I need to add those banners, stroke flags. So I add those in, just using that pink pattern paper again, and add those in. But at this point I decide, right, I'm going to add some stamping. So I have the words New Beginnings used as my stamping, and I just stamp it randomly across the page using a different colour of blue ink. So I used a few different blue inks during this, and then I took a little bit of blue acrylic paint and just did a little bit of splatter. It just makes that background look a little bit more like a background, and more what's the word, fluid. I think that's the word I'm looking for. I'm not convinced it is. Anyway, it's now at the point where I'm starting to stick things down, and I am creating this off the page because I'm waiting for that paint to dry. And I have this other pattern paper that's from a Lollipop Box Club kit, and there's some strips in here with some words on that I really think will work. So again, distressing edges, adding them into my photo main panel cluster. Now you'll see that celebrate word there. I eventually decided I'm not going to use that. But that was at one point one of the things that I wanted to add onto the page. Sorry, my voice just went funny then. So you can see here I've grabbed a whole load of bits and bobs. I did it off camera because it takes ages going through these Lollipop Box Club kits just to find the right embellishments and bits and pieces. But I'm now at the point where I want to stick the whole page down. So I did have to dry it off a little bit more with my heat tool. Then I used my cloth just to mop up any bits of the paint that still weren't dry. And now it's just a case of me slotting bits and pieces in and finding places to tuck and to layer things up, and a couple of them go in place and then they get changed. But I'm just generally grabbing all those little bits and pieces from that Lollipop Box Club kit. There's been a lot of them over the years that I've had. I probably collected them for about 10, 12 months in total. Don't think it was all consecutive though. So I've still got lots of bits and pieces to use, but they've come in really handy as I'm trying to clear through old stash before I buy new stuff. And the final touches is just these die cut hearts in the turquoise, which I thought added a little bright touch to the page. I've used these a lot in a couple of the pages that I've done already. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed. Please do give me a thumbs up. Thanks, Helen, for the inspiration and the pick 5 list. And I would hope, you subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see more and be notified when they're coming. But until next time, goodbye.